Cornucopias is a cutting-edge open-world MMO set in a world where humanity has ascended from the Earth's surface and created a breathtaking new world in the sky. This fantastical realm is a system of floating islands carved from the land we once called home, now encased in radically advanced dome-shaped structures suspended high above the clouds. Each one is a futuristic marvel with its own unique environment, identity, and thriving communities. It is within these domes the epic journey begins. Here, players take control of their own personal avatar, which gives them the freedom to choose their destiny. Be immersed in vast landscapes, explore vibrant settlements, and engage in a myriad of activities such as crafting, commerce, combat, racing, and more. Welcome to a world where the sky is no longer the limit.
Hey everyone, welcome to Copi Cafe. This is episode number 87. That's hard to believe. We're nearing 100. Rob, we got to do something special for that one. But you got Rob Greig here and Josh Jones, and we're excited. We took a week off last week. You had a little break.
Indeed.
A vacation, probably much needed. And then you got a little bit sick, which is a bummer. But
yep. Watch out for those
we do have an
germs.
exciting episode for you this week. We've got some release details. The next release, we'll talk to you a little bit about that. We'll talk to you about base and expanding our chain base to base. And then we'll talk a little bit about nodes. So a good episode. We got some community questions as well that we'll go over. And of course, as always, we've got a leak. So let's go ahead and get started. You ready?
Indeed. Let's do it.
What are you drinking?
Well, today, yes, with my plain germs, I'm drinking in the UK what is called a lemsip, which is kind of like a powdered medicine drink with paracetamol and all kinds of lemon, and it's just hot lemon with paracetamol.
Lemsip.
Really. Lemsip, they call it. It's a very, very big brand in the UK.
Lemsip. Well, I've got the Minion cup once again.
Banana.
Huh? Yes. Well done, sir. It is Diet Dr. Pepper in here today.
Diet Dr. Pepper.
Yeah, I can't be having 40 grams of sugar. So instead, I'm choosing the artificial sugar. I'm choosing a lesser evil, in my opinion.
Nice. Fair enough.
Yet to be seen whether that's actually lesser. I don't know. Anyway. All right, let's get right at it. So, exciting week. I've seen some of the player avatar. Have you seen some of the sliders and what's going on? Some of the examples, some of what's been created.
I have, yes. I've recreated a few of my favorite characters from The Walking Dead.
Nice. I mean, we're getting some interesting creations out of this. I jumped into a meeting today where they were testing all the sliders at max and just messing around, and that created some pretty unique looking individuals. Incredibly challenging getting this refined and balanced to the point where we like it. I do believe they've run into several things that might cause a slight delay of the original date of the 12th, but it's coming very soon. So could we release it on the 12th when this episode is out? It's possible. But I'm guessing right now, based upon the way things are going today, that we might let's just kick it a few days back.
Yeah, we probably should not. Let them have the weekend.
Yeah. Let them add a little bit more and resolve some of the issues. But again, guys and gals, please understand what the complexity and the enormity of this release. This is no small task to build an avatar creator at this level. So the team has been heads down, working incredibly hard. It requires so many different skill sets to pull this off. So we're lucky. We built an amazing team because they're doing an excellent job. And it's going to be far from perfect.
And there's more in the build. It's not just the avatar creator. There's lots more stuff that we've added into it as well.
There is some good stuff. Some of it we'll talk about today as well. So okay, so anything else on the avatar creator that we want to talk about? Well, okay, I've seen some really cool avatars with different tattoos.
Yep, some good tattoos in there. Yeah, there's more than one.
Yeah.
Some of them look pretty cool.
I'm really excited about that. And furthermore, Matt this morning asked if there was a Bob Ross fro, to which David quickly responded with a snapshot of the character that he was demoing to us, one of the male guys that he was building with a Bob Ross type fro. It wasn't quite Bob Ross color, but it was, he just quickly reverted back with that. So I am excited to know that you can get some Bob Ross style hair. Now, what I'm not so excited about is we may not have beards with this first release, which...
Yeah, but I mean, beards have to grow.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do.
They're new. These are new characters. They got to give them time to grow a beard.
That's a good point. So maybe with the announce, if we don't have beards, we just tell the community that's okay. They will grow.
Yep.
So give it some
tattoos
time.
Before beards. Let's get priorities.
Yeah, I gotta have a beard though. And in fact, I talked to David about that this morning in the thread and said, "Hey, we need to have beards or I quit." And he did say that they're coming soon. So I don't know when.
I want yellow.
Because there's a lot of styles of beards. What are they going to be?
Yeah, but I want yellow faces, blue, and green faces, or I quit. But
see, I already made demands. I already did the quit threat.
No, this is the only time you'll see me wearing red as well. I very, very, extremely rarely wear red.
I was literally just about to ask you about your shirt. Do you need to talk about anything going on with City right now?
No. I mean, after winning the treble last year, we're on track to win it again. We had a good draw this week.
Yeah,
that's the only reason I was wearing this top.
Yeah. I figured that. Okay. So next up,
did not sign me up or anything.
Yeah. So the date pushed, but we've also got. We'll save the leak till later, as usual. Next up is base. So many of you've seen we've added base to the mix of chains that we're supporting. And as always, we announced this in our white paper, the original white paper, when 2021,
yep,
maybe November is when we published the white paper, somewhere around there of 2021 was when we announced that we plan to be chain agnostic and offer it to cast a wide net and a large player base. But there's so many reasons for this. This is just one of them. And so, yeah, we're happy to call Cardano our home chain, but we are expanding also to base. And this is a strategy that we want to use to capture more players, more interest in what we're doing. And that's the final step. I've announced this many times too, by the way, but that's the final step before we really start going after mainstream. And we might start going after mainstream later this year. But the idea is that we get as many people as we can playing this game. So that's one of many. But
I mean, base is exciting because obviously it's part of Coinbase. It'll come back to me. Yeah, so it's part of Coinbase. It's Brian Armstrong's baby. They already have 100 million users of that platform. You know, it's brand new. We will be, I think, one of the very first games, especially a game that's well established with as far along as we are. So we've got a really good chance of getting a lot of eyeballs on our project. And those 100 million eyeballs then, you know, they'll be playing our game. They'll be seeing the bubble jets. They'll be seeing the land. And if they want those bubble jets or their land, well, guess what? They now a great opportunity for us to teach them about Cardano. So you have to have a Cardano wallet, obviously, and they're only available on the secondaries. And then vice versa as well. It's a great opportunity for our Cardano base player base to learn about this upcoming chain as well. So there's some really good cross pollination going on there, and this definitely part of our chain agnostics strategy is actually the fourth chain we're on now, because the Copi token is Cardano, Ethereum, BNB Smart Chain, and now introducing Base. So this is the fourth. You know, we've been chain agnostic and multi-chain from the beginning.
Yes, we have. And another thing that I want to emphasize, that the amount of people that we can bring in is correlative to how easy we make the process.
Yeah.
Ideally, in the future, there's not even a talk of what chain it is with the user base and the players that are coming on, that it's all seamless, it's behind the scenes, but it empowers them in so many ways. And so looking to the future, who knows what chain is leading the race or how it works, but what we want is success for all of them. And we want success for this industry, and the easier we make it for everyone, the better.
Yeah. I mean, we've had lots of support as well. I saw I saw a video that Dan made from Crypto Capital Ventures. And we all know he's a huge supporter of Cardano. He said he's going to do more content on Base. And for him, he's got exactly the same message. You know, people will have a Coinbase wallet. On that Coinbase wallet, they don't need to leave Coinbase. They will have their native assets. They will have NFTs on there. They actually, for Web2, it's actually a single experience. You go on there and you have everything in one place. Mm-hmm. Then later on, if they want to, they can learn about other chains, but they don't need to. I mean, that is an absolutely amazing opportunity for new people to enter the ecosystem. I also saw today, Thursday, as we're filming this, Crypto Crow.
Let's get Dan back on.
Yeah, we need to have Dan
on
back
in a while.
Yeah. So today I also saw an interview, Crypto Crow, with Charles Hoskinson. And Charles was talking about projects going cross-chain and multi-chain and how positive that is to actually bring more eyes into the Cardano ecosystem, which is, exactly the same philosophy that we share. We want all the chains to succeed, but because we want Web3 to succeed, and we don't succeed in our little echo chambers. Yeah. We succeed together.
100%. The mindset of maximalism is one that unfortunately is not very welcoming to new people. You know, when somebody comes in and they see a bunch of fighting about which chain is better, that kind of pushes people away. It makes people go, you know what? I don't feel comfortable with this. I'm not in this space. I'm not ready for this. And people turn away because they're already so intimidated by what crypto looks like. They don't know how to use this stuff. It's intimidating. They've heard that it's volatility, that there's scams. They've heard all these things. But they know that, wow, Bitcoin ETF, it's all over the news. I want to get in. But then they see a bunch of fighting and bickering on Twitter about what chain and blah, blah, blah. This kind of thing needs to stop.
But we
need overall in this industry, we need to start thinking about the bigger picture and bringing in the masses. And maximalism does not help that at all. Like, what we need is friendly, welcoming environments to bring people into it and show them what this chain is like and what is this chain like. And you decide, and they're going to go to the chain that's best for them. And
I think it's also part of showing that the space is very early, because we had this with gaming as well. In the early days, they didn't have the tools to go cross-platform. So you would have people that would only develop, say, for the PC, or then people would develop for the Xbox or for the PlayStation or the Nintendo. And then as the tools was built and as the space evolved, what we then saw is games like Fortnite that were then building one game. And actually, the platform didn't matter, because you can then play Fortnite on mobile or on PC, on Xbox, on PlayStation. And then this space evolved even more, because only Xbox Fortnite could play Xbox Fortnite. Then the next level came in, where now you've got Xbox against PlayStation. And yet it absolutely does not matter what your Xbox, and it's exactly the same for us in terms of blockchain. As the tools are evolving and as the space gets more and more mature, we will see this where everything becomes agnostic with each other. But at the moment, we kind of are at that early stage where people go, oh no, I need to protect where I am. But in the long term, it'll mean nothing. Nobody will care.
The exciting stuff for me is, and this is kind of somewhat antagonistic to my idea of just being careful of maximalism, but I'm excited to have a competition, like a race of the chains.
Oh, it'll be fun.
We've talked about it before. And we're moving in that direction where Cardano community gets to compete with the base community and, whatever the other communities are that we want to do that with. But, and we haven't announced that yet, but we'll bring on another chain, hopefully, and have 3 different chains that we do a competition with. And we're quickly moving to the place where we'll have the leaderboards. We'll have the ability to store data to the database. And we should be able to then run small tournaments and start building up to a bigger one. If possible, I'd love to do that by Rare Evo later this year.
That almost happened this build. So we're in a transition now where we do have the save into the database. So what we've done is we've unhooked the saving locally, but we don't have time to put all that back together. So this is going to be a little bit of a funny build where we do have save into the database and we've unhooked other bits, but putting them back. So it's a bit of a funny build in that sense, but the build after will have everything saving to the database. So the holocaches and the races, and then we'll be able to have leaderboards. And then obviously when we have leaderboards, then definitely we will start to have competitions, and those competitions will be rewarded we
reached out to that tournament platform a couple of days ago. So re-engaging, trying to see where they're at in terms of their integration with Unreal Engine. So we're looking into that. I believe that was Matt. But so,
and in the not too near future, we will have the F9R that quite a lot of people have already raced. We will have
we haven't
that.
talked about that yet. That's an important. Go ahead.
So we'll have that sale on base. So that will be our first NFT vehicle on base. Currently, for the last month, I mean, we've been selling the file nodes on Cardano and base. So they're already doing really well. And actually, I've got some numbers on those because we're going to talk about those in a bit. But we've sold nearly 5,000 Copi NFT node licenses on Cardano and just over 2,000 on base now. So we've already got we're establishing a good. I want to keep saying base every other word. We're establishing a good base on base and on Cardano, and then
did their marketing turn into a good play there. Well,
so we'll have that.
The thing we need to emphasize there, though, is that we're going to have the class system. And yes, this is an S class that we're offering on base, but there will be an S class on Cardano.
Yes, that's what I was leading up to.
Each of the chains will have a vehicle in each class at minimum. So we want to balance that out over time.
And when we have the league, the Cornucopias Racing League, and the competitions, the classes are important, because the C classes will be racing against C classes, the Bs against the Bs, and the As and the As, and the S's and the S's. So you won't have the S's versus the.
Sorry, go ahead.
So I'm just saying, so that we'll have competitions in each of the different classes. So the bubble jets will be racing in their class. The T3s will be racing in theirs, and so on and so on. Right.
I mean, in your case, though, it might be more fair that if you use the S class against me with the C class, just to kind of even things out.
Well, I've raced that F9R, and I was too. I mean, the T3 is too fast for me. I think I'm at the A class seems to be my sweet spot.
I love it, man. I can't wait. I think we do need to have a team tourney or something that's fair or whatever at some point. We'll do more tournaments. Like we got a lot of experimenting to do with the tournaments. We got a lot of events coming soon as well. We'll start doing more events, having more fun in a variety of ways. I noticed Copi Boar did one recently. That was interesting.
Indeed.
There was a Copi Boar Cup, I believe.
Yeah, he minted his own NFT as well. That was quite easy. That pretty good, that as well.
Yeah, it was.
I think he must have spent all weekend sculpting that.
Yeah, all weekend sculpting it using what's the name of the AI? Dallas? Was it Dallas? I don't know what he would have done with that, but it looks cool. Very cool. Okay, so did we cover everything? I think we did. Node update.
Yeah,
so
we covered that as well a little bit.
we did. Well, did you want to go over the number of nodes sold?
Yeah, so in total, with Cardano and Base, we've sold just under 7,000 nodes of the 20,000 that are for sale. We said that this sale is going to be a slow sale and it's going to end on the 1st of July. And then we're going to distribute the NFTs on Cardano and on Base. I mean, on Base, they kind of get distributed already, but you can't move them. They're locked. Different rules for different chains. But so everybody will be able to sell them on the secondary on the 1st of July at exactly the same time. In terms of rewards for that first year, we've set aside approximately 26 million Copi rewards that will be distributed. That number is fixed. However, that will be distributed by all the active nodes. So if we only have 7,000 nodes, then those rewards are distributed across those. So so I mean, we hope we sell a few more, but if we don't, that's what we've said.
Yeah,
and
what we said was if we're not sold out by July 1st, then we're going to pause sales for a bit.
Yep.
But that we will likely resume sales at some point.
Yeah.
But rewards automatically start July 1st, if not sooner, if we're ready sooner. And being ready means sold out and the software is ready. But the software is doing incredibly well. And so for any of you guys that might be watching this that don't have nodes yet, go over to the website. It's easy to find. There's a slider on the main banner. Click to go to the sale. Very easy to participate.
Available on Cardano and Base, either of the chains. And in a few weeks, maybe next week or the one after, we will actually bring Greig on and he can talk because he's had he's just achieved a big milestone, and we'll talk about that in the future.
Yeah. I agree. I wish we could have had Greig on today. We need to have David on, show the avatar creators. Maybe we'll do that next week. We need to have Josh on. Am I allowed to say his name? We haven't really announced that yet.
Yeah, we have announced it.
Oh, we have? Okay.
Yeah, well, I mean, you go in Discord, is next to his name.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Good. And then we need to have Greig on. So those are 3 people we need to have in the very near future. That's from the team, but we also need to start having some more external voices like Dan, Crypto Capital Venture, Crypto Crow at some point, whatever.
And Paul, Cardano with Paul. We need to speak to Fareed as well. Let's do
Copi Boar. We'll some of those guys
talk to you all
and get them into the game. Do a race.
We'll definitely race them all. In fact, we're still waiting. Copi Boar, he's had so many shout outs this episode. He exclusive interview with Ben. I don't think we've had Ben on our show yet, have we? So we're just waiting to sign that off pretty soon, that video.
Yeah, and I noticed that Ben was asking for feedback on that interview. We haven't, I haven't been able to watch it yet, so I need to watch it. I feel bad, but I have not had a free minute. I don't ever, so it's challenging. Okay. You ready to go over the architecture overview?
Yes. Hopefully this is a little bit of fun. So what I've done is, instead of having community questions this week, since we did a tweet, we had a little bit of questions, 1 or 2 questions from the community, some positive, some negative. But what was obvious is that there's lots of confusion of different areas. So what I did is I threw together a bit of a high level presentation. It's not 100% accurate. I could drill down into, but anyway, let's get to it. It's pretty. I think it's good enough. It's good enough on I'm calling it Web3 gaming. I don't know.
Wait, Rob, did you actually start with a branded slide this time?
Well, I'm dreaming I'm going to be invited on TED Talks.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's 5 slides. 4 of them will fit together. So here we go. So when we look and we planned this architecture, years ago. So when we look at the blockchain layer, there's different types of blockchains. Some of them are centralized, some are decentralized. We know Cardano is the most decentralized, and we know we've just moved to Base, which is actually centralized at the moment. But they all follow a similar pattern, as in they have individual addresses, and those individual addresses is where the NFTs are found. So you have your Bubble Jets NFTs, your land NFTs, you actually have your tokens on there and other NFTs. And that's kind of how they all work. And this is demonstrating that, in the future, we will connect to others. So this layer, part of our game, is both decentralized and centralized. The beauty of Web3 is it's so powerful. And then joining onto that, we have this, what I'm calling a connection layer, which again could be decentralized or centralized. And basically the game or websites, what they do is they talk to the actual blockchains themselves, because talking to a blockchain is quite slow via a wallet or via a blockchain API. Now, when you look at the wallets, nothing is actually ever stored in your wallet. Your wallet is a view into the blockchain. So we do read the wallets, but really what you're doing is when you're connecting your wallet to our game, you are confirming that you are the owner of that wallet, because otherwise how would you have access to that? And then from then on, when we go and look at your NFTs, or when we refresh everything, what we actually do is we can look straight on the blockchain then, because you've confirmed. So if you move those NFTs, we don't have to read your wallet. We will already know it, and we will have triggers in place. And what we actually do is we take then that address, we monitor that address in the background. We have a service, and we then keep a copy of that in our database, in our central database. And I'll get onto that in a minute, because that's quite important. But also what we are building is we are building our own layer 2, and this is what we're working with Dega with, as when we have vehicle. You're doing racing, and you've got track racing, and you've got fastest times and the history of the vehicles and all that. They will be saved in our central database, and they will also then be slowly pushed out to this layer 2 via this history API. And then that layer 2 will have multiple nodes, and then other people that want to build services on the back of our data, they talk to this layer 2, the various nodes, pull the data that they want off those nodes. And what that does is that takes all the pressure off our central database, and it actually it reduces costs, but also makes it a great way for us to offer services to other people. So those can be centralized or decentralized. And then we come further down into our cloud layer, which currently is on AWS, and this is centralized. And a lot of confusion that I've seen is people are going, where are you saving your games now? Are you going to be saving them on Cardano? Are you going to be saving them on Base? Well, no, they're going to be saved in a central database. Our model is a hybrid model, and it has to be that way, because it's very slow to update a blockchain. And when you're playing a game and you've got hundreds of thousands of players, they want instant responses. And I just showed
it has to be that way, but the idea in mind has always been that we gradually decentralize over time.
Yeah,
as we're able to.
Yeah,
so it's a hybrid currently.
Yes, definitely, and that's like I say, when working with Dega, we can slowly offload some of that data to a chain.
And we don't know
just not real time.
How fast we'll be able to decentralize, but nodes is one step in that direction. We'll take other steps as well.
Yes.
Which this we also announced in our early days in the original white paper, I believe.
Yeah. And also within our cloud, we have our website, we have the Copi Wiki, we have the marketplace, we have a number of databases. We have Web2 databases, so those look after some of our marketplaces. We synchronize the blockchain. It's a lot easier for us to access a central database, like I say, than the blockchain. So they're always synchronizing in the background, but we'll go here for speed. And we have the game database. So as your game is saving, it's saving rapidly to that database. When you're going across, if we look at the different instances of server files, and they are maybe in Europe or in America, what traditionally happens in other games is you'll go in a particular server, and whatever happens on that server stays on that server. You'll go in another one. It might be the same theme, but it looks completely different. Now, in our game, because everything is synchronized at the back end, if you update a land plot in Solace in, say, America, that will quickly be synchronized via the database and then find its way to Europe or Africa or Asia or Australia. So all that will be happening in the background. So you're in one permanent world. It doesn't matter whether you're going to Europe or America, you should be in the same live world. And we also have our different environments set up for our dev team. So we have the dev team, testing, staging, deployment, and moving along to
testing. The testing environment is a big announcement, really, that we now have the testing server set up because of what it allows.
Yes, I mean we were testing before in the staging, so we've always had a test server, but now we split it, so we've got staging and testing as we're getting more and more builds out, and we've also built really a lot of testing tools as well.
Development for the team efficiency.
Yeah. So we are evolving it, but these things take time and they're really, really complex, especially when you've got a live game, because it is a live game that we have, albeit we've only got a couple of servers that it is live. We run them 24 hours non-stop now for the last 6-7 months, and then we go to the bottom game where we bottom level. Say again, sorry.
We've used a ton of Amazon credits. The cost for running these servers just for the small amount of people that we currently have playing our small test group. It's incredibly expensive. Now we're optimizing those costs. But that is definitely something that we're looking into. How do we optimize this more? How do we work with Amazon to get a little bit more free credit? Go ahead.
Yeah, no, and that's a really good point, and I actually leads me into this. So the game itself, when you're playing the game on your PC, you're playing on your PC and you're actually playing on one of our server instances. So as your character's running around, it's keeping it in sync, but in theory, you're kind of moving on both of them. And what we've done is introducing the nodes. The nodes are very much decentralized nodes. And what they do is when we have an update to our game, those the client files will be sent to one or multiple nodes, and then those nodes can then talk to each other, and they will be able to then distribute it to the player's PC. And if one of those fails while it's updating, the player can go and get another one. And what this slide shows is that in the future, not currently, but in the future, we will have nodes that are running on PCs, on Mac, on Linux, or on the same PC as the game's running, on VPSs and on all kinds of cloud. So our nodes will be able to run everywhere and be and when we're talking about saving costs, not only do the nodes help us to distribute our game without a single point of failure, but when our game's up to say 100 gigabytes, every time we download 100 gigabytes to a user's PC, that costs us money. I mean, it might only be fractions of penny from Amazon.
Well, I don't know if you were on the Amazon call recently. Were you on it?
No.
Well, we went through, okay, how can we optimize? we were talking with our rep. They had the a team of 5 on the call, like,
Yep.
and they came full force with us, which was great. And one of the areas that really needed optimization was we clearly figured out that was game download cost. Those were costs associated with the download
massive.
of the files.
Yeah.
And so, this node system can really help reduce that. That's one area that can help reduce that a little bit.
It saves us a lot of money. So, so that's why we're really happy to reward people that are running these nodes with the Copi token, because it is true, you are providing a valuable service for us. You're saving us money, but you're also improving to speed up the downloads in many cases, but also getting rid of that single point of failure. But another benefit that we I don't think we've ever talked about before, it's a huge cost saving for us, and it really does add up, especially when we get to 100 gigabytes and we might be doing an update every 2 weeks or every 4 weeks over 100,000 PCs. It's enormous.
Yeah.
So we're glad to get ahead of the curve of that. And then this kind of final system is how it all kind of works together. And, I hope that explains some of the questions that I've been seeing of how the different blockchains work, how we can expand across blockchains, and all the data is actually held centrally. So the player only sees just all their assets. It doesn't matter where they are. So we've had this design for a few years. It's been peer reviewed, and we're quite a way into this. And I think more and more Web3 games will be built this way, because this is how you should build a modern Web3 game, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's a good diagram. It really helps flesh out a lot of what our teams have put together over time, and explain it in a good, easy to understand visual way. So I think it's very helpful. Hopefully it answered a lot of your questions from the community, because we've seen quite a bit of them. We didn't go through any one in particular. But do we want to go into the leak now?
We can go into the leak. So the leak. So a few weeks ago, before I went on holiday, holiday. Yeah, a few weeks ago, I think it was a Friday or Saturday night. I was streaming in Discord, and there's about 30 people that were following me. And I kind of told them I was on a secret mission. So I'm going to tell you what that secret mission was. So I was exploring Kalido Valley, and I was climbing up all kind of nooks and crannies and going to lots of places I've never been before, didn't even know exist in some cases. And every now and again, I would pause and not do anything. And so what that secret mission was, I was taking screenshots of certain locations where holocaches will now be stored. So what we're going to do is we're going to remove all the existing holocaches. We are going to give them a bit of a trim. We're going to have only 100 holocaches in new locations. We're going to have 40 common, 28 uncommon, 18 rare, 10 legendary, and 4 mythic. So it kind of makes sense. In the future, we will save them and have all kinds of competitions and speed runs against them. On one of the locations, I will give you a clue. Some people may remember them. I've actually got screenshots, and I've looked back at them, and I can't even remember how I got to these places. But a few months ago, I was on one of the community's little adventure games run by Zeke from the Mafia.
That was great. That was great. Yeah. I wasn't on that, but I watched a good chunk of it. I was bummed because I think I was in Dallas, unable to get on and join you guys, but I did watch some of it. It was fun. You kept breaking the rules, and Zeke needed to keep you in line.
It was, and
he did a good job of that.
This is where one of them is. There was part of that stream where, in particular, I started it. You had to jump, and he said, I only want people to jump once, and I kept going back and jumping again and again, and then a few other people. Well, where if you were part of that stream, if you remember it, to make Zeke a little bit happy, it did inspire me, and there is a holocache somewhere there, so it wasn't in vain.
Yeah. Okay. That's That's a great leak. I'm excited to try the new holocache challenge. I'm also excited to do speed races, have it saved to database,
Yeah.
things like that. What we can do eventually with rewards around that, what we can do with leaderboards. I mean, that will gamify everything. So it's very, very exciting overall.
I think at the moment, you know, at the start of the show, we talked about we need to unhook things, getting ready to save in the database and stop locally. In this build, the saving of those holo caches may be broke. So you might be able to collect them. It might not pop up. So we know that's potentially something that's just crept in because we just can't do it all at the same time. But in the following build, so learn those locations now, because in the following build, those will be saved to the database. We'll probably have the ability to reset all those, have a timer behind them, have a leaderboard. That's going to be really exciting, and not only for holo caches, but we have the ability to save. We're getting very close then to doing that for the racing of the vehicle. So all those Cardano NFTs are about to get a huge boost.
Yeah, it's going to get a lot stickier, a lot more fun.
Yeah,
I mean, just being able to have leaderboards, is going to be a ton.
Can I just slip in one more, because I just want to slip in with one more. We are now running around, obviously in Solace 2. Testing that area. We're testing Solace 1, we're testing Solace 2. We're about to test Solace 3. We have broke ground on Esperanza 1, and the team is working really hard doing the artwork and then starting to lay that out as well. So there's a lot of things to come. We are very busy.
I mean, technically that's not really a leak, because we've shown images from Esperanza.
That was the old one. These have all been redone.
It was an older one, yes, but we've started the in imagery for Esperanza, and the study and the research and the ideation that began long ago. And you've seen some of those images. That's been refined for sure. But now what you're saying really is that energy of the team is now beginning to really focus on Esperanza, because we've gotten Solace so far along. Yeah, which means that we're at the land plot diagramming stage and selection in towns and things of that nature.
We will get there once we built it, but we built a lot of tools while building Solace 1, 2, and 3, and we improved the artwork and we improved all the different processes. I say I've not done any of this. David and his team have done all this. We brought on a lot more people over the last 90 days. Another 10 more people have joined us. So the Esperanza is, well, let's not get ahead of ourselves. We're going to have Solace before that. We're going to have all the 3 Solaces for you to run around. Then you'll get to choose your land plots. And then just after that, I mean, then Esperanza 1, 2, and 3 it's crazy.
It's going to be an exciting year, a very exciting year. Well, thank you all for listening, Q2. For joining. Hope you enjoyed this episode of Copi Cafe. Rob, it's good to have you back. I'm glad you got to get a little bit of rest. I'm bummed that you got sick at the end of it. That sucks. But
it is what it is.
Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next week.
Bye-bye.
Don't care what you say. Don't care what you say. I'm in a game all day. Game all day long. What the doctor say? Play till the sun.